anybody who has an existing PPP loan, what has changed? Because with the Economic Aid Act, it updated some things that is really critical. And we even talked about this in the last webinar that we did. The big thing that I want everybody to know, write it down, have your ears perk up right now, is that taxability on PPP is non-existent. There is no tax effect of the PPP loan. What we had known the last time we did a webinar is that you weren't allowed to deduct the expenses that were going to be forgiven for PPP. But the Act has clarified that both PPP is not taxable income and you can deduct those expenses for the purposes of your taxes. So this means that you get money from the government with zero tax effect. That is really, really huge. People are right now planning to make their Q4 estimated tax payments, and that is super critical. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands that. And that also applies to the EIDL grant. So if you got an EIDL grant, then also not taxable, and you can deduct the expenses when you use that money for whatever you use the money for. Okay. So huge, 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 huge. Okay. I just want to make sure that is really, really clear. I also wanted to mention that they've also offered a potential simplified forgiveness for loans under 150K. I imagine it's going to be very similar to what the 3508S form was looking like for loans under 50,000. Now they're going to raise that up to loans under 150,000. Forgiveness is going to be simplified in a one-page form. This does not mean blanket forgiveness, which a lot of people were hoping for. I think it probably just came down to too much potential fraud. So they are offering simplified forgiveness for loans under 150, but not blanket forgiveness. Okay. And then they've done a couple of things for existing loans that they've essentially just made retroactive into the original CARES Act. They've added some additional payroll costs. And so these are going to be pretty important for a lot of contractor businesses, I would believe, or business like construction businesses, because they have added in the ability to include disability insurance and life insurance. So from what I believe, this is my interpretation, and we are waiting for kind of really clear guidance here, but disability would probably include workers' comp insurance. So that's a big expense, I know, for lots of contractors. So I want to just kind of bring that up. We're waiting for I want to see it in writing that is okay for workers' compensation, but that is likely a additional payroll cost you can now include.